Greetings everyone. Welcome to Prayer and Testimony. My name is Joe and this is
Aiden.
And today we're going to talk about our relationship with God, but from a kid's perspective. So, Aiden, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Aiden. I'm 11 years old. I'm in 6th grade.
Playing sports?
Yeah, I play volleyball and I sometimes play basketball, but since the volleyball season is like for very long, then I'm pretty much stuck with volleyball for now.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Alrighty, so Aiden, you said you're in 6th grade, you said you're 11, right?
Yeah.
So my first question for you is, who is God to you?
He's somebody that you can trust on, like you can kind of fall back on. And he's also somebody that, is very caring and could always help you.
So since you're younger, when did your relationship with God start?
Well, I knew myself when I was like 4. And then I really knew myself when I was like 7. So like probably around like 8ish or 9, I kind of started to like know who he really is.
Did something specific happen, or you just kind of?
No, I just kind of, cause like, I just, go into church, but I didn't really like have like thoughts. Like I was kind of just doing my thing. And then I actually started to like really like hear the sermons. Like I actually like could like attentively listen.
Do you think as a kid it's harder for you to have a relationship with God, or easier? Or?
I mean, I'm not really sure because like I don't know like when I become an adult like if it's gonna be harder. But I mean it's going pretty good. So.
That's good. So what about your friends? Do you feel like your friends also have their own relationship with God, or they're just kind of going through the motions?
Some, yeah, like they do, but some others just like kind of just, going through the motions, kind of just doing their thing.
So what do you think about adults when they talk about God? Can you relate to them, or it just kind of feels far off?
I mean, it's kind of in the middle because like they put like those things come off of experiences. And like since I'm 11, I haven't had so many like experiences with God. So I mean, I can see where they're coming from, but like some of the stuff that they're saying, I really don't get.
Would you say you've experienced or had like a moment in your life where you really felt that God was real, or something significant in your life?
Well, really is like when I had surgery, and like it was like a really tough time because like they had stuff in my throat, and like it was a really tough time, but we kept praying, and soon enough it got better, and I was really like, wow, like he really helps.
How old were you when you had the surgery?
From what I know of, I was 10. I don't know the other ages after that.
So you remember being 10 and going through the surgery?
Yeah, but the other 2, I was very little, so I didn't remember.
Was it scary for you going through surgery?
I mean, kinda. Like at the start, it was kind of scary because like I never gone through it, at least that I know of. I haven't gone through, but really just trusting in God, it kind of, I was like, okay, I can do this. And like knowing that, we've done it over and over again, that I felt, pretty calm, like, okay, I could take this on.
What do you do to strengthen, or what does your relationship with God look like? How do you talk to God and stuff?
Well, I start like devotional, because like that's one thing like in 2026 that I'm trying to do more is like do more devotional, like praying more, because like I just want to strengthen my bond, because like in the later years, yeah, I pray, I do a few things, go to Sabbath school, but now I'm trying to like intentionally like actually create a relationship with God.
Cool. What about with like school and sports? Do you feel like God is present in those areas of your life too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like going through like major sports now because I used to kind of just, go and play and, have a good time. But now it's like, it's definitely, I mean, like, I'm not playing like big time sports, of course, but I mean, it's definitely, I don't know how to say it, but I mean, I can kind of see like a relationship with it too.
Do you have I know you have Christian friends, but do you talk to God with do you talk about God with your Christian friends and with your non-Christian friends?
Definitely with my Christian friends. I mean, sometimes with like with my friends, I got like public school, but I go to a public school. So like I do sometimes, but like lots of them also go to church. So it's kind of more of like, we could talk to each other without it being like, I don't know who this is. Or, cause like I know some people at school, like they don't like believe in him and stuff. But like the friends that I have, like they actually like good. They go to church, like they actually believe in him.
That's good. So what would you think so far has been your favorite part about having a relationship with God?
Really like knowing that I always have somebody. Like even like when I'm like alone, I always have him there with me. Is like a big thing. Like taking tests, cause like I'm in like honors classes and like the stuff is crazy, the curriculum. But like having God with me, I can kind of be like, okay, I have somebody beside me.
What do you think would be the hardest part about your relationship, or what do you find most difficult?
Um, well, really just kind of the consistency of it, of like, keep, you know, going towards God because there's times where like I'll kind of just be like, I got it, I don't have to pray. I just can do it by
On your own?
myself. But I've kind of seen that, God is like, He's there. And like I can, He's really useful in like in dark times. So it's like, I mean, sometimes it's just like the consistency of like always falling back on God and remembering about God.
Do you have like a favorite Bible story that you like to read, or just a story you heard?
Well, I'm not sure.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What about church? Do you like going to church? I know some kids are like, oh, church is boring, or the pastor preaches a long time, or it's long, or it's hard to stay awake.
Well, when I was younger, that's how it was. It was like, it's like great. I go to church, see my cousins, have a good time, and like the stories that they had, and, like it was kind of intriguing. But now, like that I've had more experiences, I kind of can get like a grasp of it. And like, I mean, there's some times where like the sermon, like it goes somewhere and I don't know what they're really talking about. Like they really go in depth into the Bible, but I mean, when I get older, I feel like I can kind of get more a grasp on what they're really saying.
When you're talking about the Bible, do you think the Bible is easy for you to understand, or hard, or?
There's definitely lots of parts that are like interesting about it, but I mean, I can trust it because like I was on YouTube and I saw this thing and I forgot what the story was, but it was like this story and how this like her family were walking away from a burning city because God said that like they're like we're the only good family in that city, and that city was burning. But God said, if you look back, you'll turn into salt.
Yeah.
So they're walking, and I believe the mother looked back and she turned into salt. And on YouTube, it showed of like these guys. They were going and they saw this structure, like this weird structure, and they went depth into it, and it was like there was salt particles, and then looked even in depth to it, and they said like there was probably some kind of human being, and like they found some like remains of like the like of the city. They found like remains, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like, yeah, it's really crazy.
So what advice or what would you tell to somebody your age who is trying to have their own relationship with God?
Well, just try like your best, like keep praying, you know, try to get the devotional, you know, I mean, just try to every day, you know, have your own little God time where you can just talk to Him and have your own time, because it doesn't have to be hours and hours of it. It just has to be, you know, okay, a good 10-15 minutes, and you know, it's, you know, hopefully it's gonna just keep growing and growing, and soon enough you'll have a really great relationship.
That's really good advice. So what would be, do you have like a favorite Bible verse or anything?
I can do all things through Christ who
You
strengthens
can
me.
do all things.
Yeah.
Do you know where it's from?
It's in Philippians.
Uh-huh.
Philippians 4,
Uh-huh.
verse 13.
There you go.
Yeah.
To kids watching like you, what would you say about them and God?
Really just to keep believing in Him, and you know, to keep building a relationship with Him, and just keep doing that. You know, it doesn't have to be really long. It can just be, you know, just before you know, you go to bed or when you wake up. You know, just have a little time with Him, because you know, it will build up and make a really great relationship.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your testimony. I know sometimes it's harder when you're young to talk about God, but I'm really thankful that you were willing to come and share your testimony.
Yeah.
So for all those watching, just remember that prayer is just a conversation with God, and testimony is just your story that you share with others. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.